Hi, welcome back to my channel. The reason why I'm acting a bit weird is because I already filmed this video and then my camera decided that it didn't want to work with me anymore and just shut down. So yeah, it's annoying. But anyway, I'm here in my new space. If I haven't told you about it before, Free Your Mind. We have opened a healing space for trauma survivors to come and get healing, Reiki, meditation, mentoring, lots of different types of therapies. So yeah, it's good. Today's our first day in here. Essentially it's me. But I'll show you a little bit around. So I'm in my chair at the moment. This is just, we've got a bit of sage, if you know about sage, clearing out any heavy energies, any negativity. Burn a little candle. Got a nice Himalayan salt lamp. We've got the bed where we do the healing work, therapy work. And then back there is the big lights that say breathing space. And then there's just my desk with a whole lot of stuff that needs tidying up. So anyway, if you are watching this and you are based in London or you don't mind to travel, you are very welcome to book in for healing Reiki or meditation sessions, self-care coaching, domestic violence, peer support. Yeah, just get in touch. There was something else. Oh yeah, we'll be doing group meditations as well to work through trauma. We're doing one called I Am Safe, which is going to be on the 22nd of February. So yeah, if you'd like to join that, let me know and we'll get you booked in and you can come along. But anyway, that's not what this video is for. This video is for to answer a question actually. I was messaged on YouTube and asked about trauma and relationships. Now, it's really interesting that this question came up because it's something I've been talking about a lot in my own work and life recently. So yeah, anyway, here's the question. I don't know if you could speak on adult relationships after being a survivor of sexual abuse and other forms of abuse and neglect, and being comfortable in yourself, being acknowledged that you're an adult after such an experience. How can you separate your child self from your woman self, if that makes sense? Oh, okay. So how do you separate your child self from your woman self? Well, okay, so in my opinion, you can't, your child self will never quieten down within your woman self until it feels safe, until the trauma has been is being managed and is being resolved. Until then, your child self will remain in your woman self or your male self, depending on your gender, until its voice is heard. So if your child self is, if you are feeling unsafe in the world, it means that your child self doesn't feel safe. If you feel like you can't trust people, it means your child self can't trust people. So the work is to be done on the inner child first, and then the woman will change. That's how it's been for me and the people that I work with. It's always about addressing the inner child first. One of the really good ways that you can do that is to actually speak to your inner child and just say, what is it that you need? What is it that you want from me? What can I do for you? Like, lie down, sit down, meditate on it and connect to little you. Or you can take a picture of yourself, which is one of the things that I did, and look at the picture and speak to the child and say, what is it that you need from me? The other things that I do is actually affirm that the child is now safe. So I say, you are now safe, you are with me, I am in control now, you can lean on me, I've got you. So then your inner child over time will learn to believe you believe that you've got everything in hand, believe that that you're telling the truth. And so for me, that's personally how you start to change those things. Let's go back to the rest of the question. And adult relationships after abuse and growing up around different forms of abuse and neglect is pretty hard, because those things your childhood is your base. It's where you learn about your self-worth, it's how you learn about people, it's how you learn about relationships. It sets you up for life. You know, if you've been set up around unhealthy situations, you're gonna have, you're gonna have an unhealthy mind. And so in our adult life, it's now our turn to bring that health back, look after ourselves, take care of ourselves, insert boundaries. When there's been a situation of domestic violence, sexual abuse and different things like neglect, there's been a lack of control and boundaries in our lives. And so as we get older, there is a need to kind of control things, and that can get a bit out of control, but the need for control is also understandable because of the lack of control, so you'll be looking for it in your life. But then the boundary thing, that's something we just don't get taught. If someone is always overstepping your boundaries, you're not going to have none, especially when you're a child, because nobody tells you that it's wrong. Nobody tells you that what they're doing, that overstepping the boundary thing is wrong. So to you, it becomes right. So in your life, you allow people to do things that don't feel good. You say yes to things that you don't want to do. You're a people pleaser. You put yourself last. Even if someone's treating you a certain way, you can always find a way to resolve it and say, oh, that's okay. They're all, they're just going through this. They're just doing that. No. Hold people to account. Hold yourself to account, to hold people to account. So yeah, that's one of the things that I would say. Work on your boundaries, work on your people pleasingness, and learn to love yourself. Most trauma survivors, and when I say most, I know I'm generalizing here, so please excuse me, but a lot of, including myself here, we tend to give out loads of love because that's how we feel like, that's what we feel like we need to do. We have to prove ourselves to people. We have to work for the good things. We have to work for love. We have to work for respect. We have to work for happiness. And sometimes, in some places they have their place, but in relationships, you shouldn't need to do that. You shouldn't have to work for love. You shouldn't have to work for respect. You shouldn't have to work for support. That should be there with the right person. If you're not getting that, then it's not the right relationship for you. And you have to find enough self-love within yourself to say no. Now, the inner child of you that just wants to be liked will just be like, but this person is giving me some attention, so maybe I should just like them. Maybe I should just have what they're giving me, even if it's just like the smallest thing. Let me just accept that, because that's all I'm worth. What if I don't get any better than that? This might be the best it gets. What if that's all I deserve? And so you need to talk to your inner child and know that you deserve better, and start to teach your inner child that it deserves better. Because when you know better, you do better. And one of my clients that I was speaking to earlier, actually, I said to them, whenever you start to feel attracted to the things that aren't good for you, you start ignoring that little voice in your head, you know that there's more work to be done on yourself. You're not there yet. When you see the people that aren't good for you, the person that isn't good for you, the person that hasn't treated you well, and you no longer want them, you're getting there. And when you meet somebody who is entirely different to what you normally go for, if you've had a catalogue of unsuccessful relationships, especially if they're very similar characters, then you know that you're getting somewhere if you are no longer wanting that relationship anymore. So these are all good signs. So that's what I would say. I hope it's comprehensive and helpful. But yeah, that's how you know when you're making a decision away from your woman self and child self, and that's how they come together. When you can establish the differences in your decisions, that's when you know you are coming away from that child self and moving into your woman self, because you're making better decisions that feel good. It's always about the feeling. Does it feel good? And be honest with yourself. If you're like, yeah, it feels good, but no, then it doesn't feel good. The truth is, when something is there's only one answer to it: yes, no. And we shouldn't get too caught up in the grey area of that, because it's, we know, you know. And I'm going to stop talking now because I'm waffling, but I really hope this was helpful. If you want me to elaborate on anything, let me know and I will. But thank you for joining me, and I hope this was helpful. Ta-da! Have a good day. Bye.